Alright, I know everybody probably wants an update on the dyno, and where I'm at with that is I'm trying to get quotes for materials, start working on this. So after talking to, not really talking to, but after looking online and discussing some of the Taylor boat forums or Facebook groups, I guess these day cruisers are actually only, they call them quarter stringer, so the section here in the engine bay is really the only stringer there is, and some guy is saying it's 5/8 plywood or something like that. It looks like a 2x6, but I haven't measured it yet. And then it would appear that this bulkhead was replaced, because if you see down there at the bottom, the resin kind of has like a pocket in it, like maybe there was plywood there as a bulkhead and somebody replaced it with this. I guess that's a 2x6. And then the rest of the structure is actually just to support the floor. So I guess it was never, you can see it's just kind of tabbed in, it's not wrapped in fiberglass. So I got the drive out of it, and this all looks pretty good. There's a couple spots I might touch up, like here. So I'll clean this up a bit. There's a little spot right here I grind out, and then use some thickened epoxy to kind of reform that, just so it's, I'll just try to make it match both sides. Today mostly I just wanted to get some measurements, that way I have a good base to go off of, and just get some footage to know where I'm starting with and where I need to go. Like I said, up here it looks like there used to be a bulkhead here, maybe. That or somebody's replaced all of this before, because it's very odd to me that there's this piece here. It seems to be where the tabbing is. If anybody knows more about these, I really don't know anything about these jet boats. This is a 76 Taylor day cruiser, and just trying to figure it out. But I think what I'm gonna do is replace these stringers, and I may try to get a board that's all one piece, at least all the way up to, I need to cut this out because I'm not sure. That front piece of plywood looks good. Obviously this rear section needs cut out, but I may get a, however tall I need it, it's like a 2x6, and then cut it down for the step for the floor, so it's all one board. Or I may just do the 2x6 to a bulkhead, and then run these 2x4s. Yeah, those are definitely 2x4s. And then the center one, I guess that's a 2x6 for the center. I'm sure I'll have to rip them a little bit, contour them to the floor. But my plan is to basically redo all this and do it a little nicer, and then fully glass it to the floor, or to the hull of the boat. So it'll be structural, and I don't think it'll add too much weight, but I think it'll really increase the strength of the hull. Whether it really needs it or not, I don't know, but I don't think it'll be too much extra effort, and just seal it all. And I may not put as many layers on it, but at least I'll wrap them a couple times. So let me get some measurements here. I want to get them on camera just so I know kind of where my datums were. So if we go right there, come forward, looks like 45 and 3/8. I go on top of the stringer to the transom. Looks like maybe right at 45.5. I suspect this side to be the same, but maybe there's some differences with the transom. It looks like right at 45.5 to the bottom of the, I believe that's called the gunnel. I'm not sure, but the side there, 23.5 to the glass. If I had to eyeball the center, I would say 24 and maybe 24.5, 24 3/8 to the center with the stringer. Check it from this way. It's pretty much right where it wants to touch there. Yeah, it looks like to the edge of the glass it's 23.5, and then yeah, I'd say about 24 3/8 in the center of the stringer. And let's check back here in the corner. Quarter. So looks like taking the measurement there, actually get more like 24 1/16 to the center, maybe 24 1/8. Now that's interesting. Let's see, the inside of this hull is not great to measure off of. So that's more like 23.5 to the center. Interesting. Just putting the tape here as straight as I can to the side of the stringer there. It's like right at 11 5/8 to the center of that top hole there. Got 11 1/8. Yeah. Maybe 3/16. 11 3/16. Very interesting. I don't have much else I could go off of in the front. I don't plan on touching these for right now. I'm going to replace them, but not till after I get the stringers in, so I measure. Yeah, from that lowest little point sticking out. .3/4, about 20 3/8 in the center. Looks get almost right at 20 here. That's gonna annoy the crap out of me, but at least I have the measurements. As long as I measure off the same point going back together, I guess it will be okay. Very odd to me. I think it's just, they say to measure from the outside of the boat, but that's quite a bit harder. So you're supposed to put a line in the boat so that I can measure off of, but I'm not exactly sure how I would do that. So I think as long as I use the same datums and I don't alter those datums, I'll be fine. I haven't found anything major with the hull, though I do have one concerning spot. That's this right here. I think it's just the tabbing that was holding this bulkhead. Alright, I removed that, and the core of this stringer, unless somebody's drove wood up in there, everything I can see, you probably can't see it on camera, but anyhow, it seems to be some kind of solid lumber. It's really thick too, actually. See if I can measure this. I don't know if it's swelled up or if that's just how thick these are. That is, I guess it's 1.5 inches. For some reason that looks a lot thicker. That's most likely that's a 2x6 then, because that's about 6 to the top of the fiberglass. So yeah, probably about 5.5 for the wood. That's what I'll put in it, is a 2x6. You know, some people say use plywood, which I agree plywood is stronger, but even the marine grade, one, the cost of it, and two, it's just still relying on a glued together product. I'd rather use solid lumber, and I'm not going to use pressure treated, obviously, but some people say some Douglas fir, I think, and I'll coat it in resin and let that soak in before I put it in the boat, so it'll be sealed completely. And then instead of doing the holes for the drainage at the transom, I'm actually just gonna like notch it and then glass all through there, so it'll be completely sealed, and it'll have a passageway on the floor directly, so there shouldn't be any standing water. After taking this out, it's pretty interesting. It looks like, I'd have to say that this is the plywood for sure. You can see the little layers there, maybe, if you can. It's kind of dark in here, I know. So this is how I have the boat blocked. It's a wheel crib I made, and then some of the weight is sitting right on the corner. I see there's a little bit of damage there. I'll repair. That's not for me, but anyhow, I mean, that's the strongest part of the boat. All this glass coming together in a corner, so some of the weight is sitting here. It's also sitting on some wadded up fabric just to help distribute it a little bit. Have some cushion. And where it's not sitting is it's not sitting on the bottom, and even up there, there's actually a gap up there. And it's the same story on that side. Let me get some view of the front. Now the keel, I didn't want it just sit directly on the keel, so you guys can tell me if I'm wrong or not for this, but I put 2 blocks to form kind of a V, and then some fabric, folded up a few times, and also tried to, because it's so far out here you know, it's kind of a long boat. This thing's 22 feet. So it's fairly close to the end of the boat. So I also tilted the block a little bit that way just so it contoured to the bottom of the boat here. Sorry about the compressor, that's my neighbor's. I do plan on continuing the dyno project, I promise. Just saving up some money right now. Appreciate you guys watching. Thanks.